So I was asked the other day what my number one lesson is from building a $30 million online education business. And I started to think about it and I really just couldn't boil it down to one. So I actually sat down and wrote out a list of some hard-earned lessons and I came up with about 30. So whether you are starting out or you're scaling up, these are truths that I wish that I knew from day one and you're gonna wanna hear them. So before we dig into the very first lesson, not only have I built my own business, but I've helped thousands of people all over the world build their businesses by packaging their expertise and their skill sets into online programs. And at the base of any successful online course business is knowing two key things. Consider these bonus tips before we dig into everything else. Who is your ideal client and what specifically are you selling? And we've created something so exciting, a free and very powerful tool that unlocks exactly who your ideal client is just by answering a few simple questions. So comment decoder below and we'll send you the link to use the tool for yourself so you can get clarity on the foundation of your successful online education business in a matter of minutes. It's like magic. Okay, let's get into the first lesson. My fellow perfectionists, I'm a recovering perfectionist and you're not gonna like this, but perfectionism is just a pretty form of procrastination. We all want things to be perfect, but perfectionism is often an excuse to delay action. Just start. Imperfect, but effective. And that brings me to the second lesson. Get to market as ugly but effective as you can. So the faster you launch anything, the sooner you get feedback. Feedback and failure is ultimately crucial to growth and long-term success. You have to know how something lands in the real world. Perfecting it and tweaking it and having it behind the scenes for years is just a way to keep yourself safe and to keep yourself protected. But when you're keeping yourself in that zone, you're not getting any insightful information to make what you have to offer the best it can possibly be. The only way to do that is to get it to market and to get real world feedback so that you can tweak it, optimize it, and improve it. Test first, optimize later. Third lesson, and people aren't gonna like this one. Short-term success is easy. It's the easiest part. Quick wins feel great, but they don't last. Real success comes from consistency. And how do you build consistency? You fall in love with the data that drives the business. I used to hate numbers. KPIs or key performance indicators, bleh. But I learned to fall in love with them. And they allow you to build a baseline of actually knowing exactly what you need to hit your goals and scale. When you know the metrics across the board that indicate success for your business, and they're clear for every kind of business and incredibly clear for an online education business, you then know, okay, well, we need a minimum of this many leads. We need a minimum of this many sales calls or sales opportunities to hit our goals. And not only hit our goals, we can then hit that number. And then if we increase the number of leads, the traffic, etc., that is going to be able to increase our sales and allow us to then scale. And then we can plan for things like growth and team and operations and all of those things. But that is where it comes down to not just looking at it in terms of like, yay, I sold my first program, or yay, I had a huge launch. So often I see people have that quick win or success and then completely paralyze themselves because they have not paid any attention to the actual metrics that matter inside the business. So they have no freaking clue how to grow. Okay, number 4, you got to create a market of one. So you don't need to appeal to everyone, and actually appealing to everyone means that you're appealing to nobody. You want to focus on serving one specific niche and you'll become irreplaceable to them. So on that note, this is a reminder to comment decoder to unlock your ideal client in just a matter of minutes. With our ideal client decoder tool, it's going to give you the clarity you need on exactly who you're serving and how to position yourself in the market as a market of one by answering just a few simple questions. So be sure to comment decoder now. Now, number 5, know who you serve and what you offer. Without clarity in these things, which I just talked about and why they're so important, your business is built on a faulty foundation. If you keep those in your focus, you will know exactly what kind of messaging to create, how to market the business, how you're positioned in the marketplace, how to differentiate yourself from deemed competitors out there, and also like I said earlier, how to position yourself as truly a market of one. Without clarity on those pieces, nothing else works. You think it's hard to create content or you think it's hard to hire people. It's oftentimes because if we go right back to the root of it, we're so lost on who we're serving that it creates chaos inside of your business because you're constantly having to switch your brand messaging, switch up your content, you're testing and throwing spaghetti at the wall. You cannot grow with that level of chaos in your business. So clarity on those foundational pieces, which you will get with that decoder tool, is the most important part to actually growing. Who you serve, what you offer, crucial. Number 6, brand equals results. So my business, ironically, boomed when I stopped trying to build a personal brand. Your brand is not your logo or your colors or how cool you look on your website or social media. It's the results that you deliver. I had to learn this the hard way. So I have some very cringy things if you want to go back on my social media. If you focus on getting real, impactful outcomes for your clients, that's always going to win and stand the test of time. And truly, being in this industry for so long, confidence, real confidence, is subtle and quiet. Ego yells from the rooftops and feels the need to fight for your attention. And here's a little thing to think about. If someone is feeling the need to constantly be on social media to prove just how great they are, well then how much attention and energy are they actually putting into the business itself and the clients that they serve and the results that they're getting? It's something that you want to think about when you're looking at how you want to position yourself and how you want to build your business, because being loud, being aggressive, being everywhere creates chaos. And for me, focusing on mainly impact over everything allowed me to build a lot of credibility and to create a lot of peace in my business as well. And peace for me is my ultimate definition of success. So, number 7, people will question your success no matter what. Even when you have all the results, some people will doubt you, and it's a them problem. They're just projecting oftentimes. So don't let that shake your belief in what you're doing. That kills so many businesses and so many entrepreneurs. We have hundreds of client success stories, even an entire channel dedicated to them. And I have been accused of paying people to give me testimonials and having too many. I've been accused of having too many testimonials. You just can't win. So no matter what you do, how good you are at what you do, the haters are real. It's unfortunately the nature of doing anything worth doing. So your number one asset has to be not only your belief in yourself, but the belief in what you do. And how do you stack belief? You stack belief through actual impact. That's why you want to focus on that so much. And that actually kind of plays really well into number 8, which is think long-term. So you want to build for legacy. Every decision should be made with long-term thinking in mind. Whether it's clients, curriculum, your team, think about it as part of your legacy. The biggest question we ask ourselves when we enroll a client into our program or we have a new team member on board, we think, could we see ourselves working with this person for the rest of time? Would we want to have them at our team retreats? Do we get along and do we share the same values? And that honestly, I've hired a lot of people throughout the years. That kind of trumps anything else. People can learn. If they have a willingness to learn, that's probably the number one skill you're looking for in a hire. But above that is there has to be cohesion in the culture, especially as you grow. One bad apple will absolutely spoil the whole bunch. So having alignment in values is so crucial to hiring the right people. And thinking long-term is not sexy. And oftentimes you have to make really hard decisions that are not going to have an immediate gratification or payoff. But generally the immediate gratification and payoff leads to, again, that chaos because you're doing something for a quick win as opposed to the long-term success of the business. And if you look at things through a long lens, probably the most important thing that I have learned through this long season and long period of being an entrepreneur, over a decade, is there are seasons to everything and everything is temporary. So your business will have ups and downs, seasons of hustle and seasons of rest. Both are necessary for sustainable growth. It is a marathon, not a sprint. I know that's cliche, but it is so true. Number 10, constant hustle will kill you. Hustling nonstop is a sign you're not willing to delegate or let go. It's not sustainable and it will burn you out. Take it from someone who's been there. Runway is your friend in every aspect of the business. If you don't know what runway is, it essentially means that you're giving yourself buffer. You're giving yourself security. And yes, that means financially, but it also means so much more. So at a minimum, financially, you want to have 3 months of runway, but more than that is definitely helpful. Batching content, for example, is giving yourself runway. In terms of a client pipeline, ensuring that you're having people that you're not just are new leads coming in, but there's people that you've spoken to that you can follow up with. Giving you buffer room gives you agility. So you can be proactive instead of reactive, again, to create peace over chaos. When you grow a business and you go from being a founder and a one-person show to actually building a team, you lose the right to be reactive and chaotic. You have to prioritize peace, and creating runway, security, and buffer room is what allows you to do that. If you are chaotic and you make chaotic short-term decisions and reactive decisions, guess what happens to your team culture? It crumbles. Runway, runway, runway. Buffer room on everything. And then you have the flexibility to do one-off things and to be creative and all of those things, but you at least know that you are consistent and set up to be able to support the business goals and a team structure. Number 11, copycats can't win. People will copy you. It is inevitable. The audacity of some people is wild, but they can't win. Even if it looks like they're winning, their souls are not winning because they don't have your unique voice, experience, or insights. And that goes back to creating that market of one that I talked about earlier. When you create a market of one, nobody can really do it like you or build a methodology like you, because you actually are building it from a place of experience. And that experience is completely unique to you. Okay, so number 12, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but failure really is feedback. And again, I'm a former recovering perfectionist, but failure is my friend at this point. Every single failure is a lesson, not just in business and life too. Use it to adjust, improve, and come back stronger. I always say, like, give yourself a teeny window to have a pity party, and then you gotta get right back up. Resilience is one of the most important assets as a business owner. Number 13, do to learn. Don't do to win. So you can't learn everything from a book or course. Real learning comes from doing, experimenting, and taking action. And this goes back to, if you're constantly doing things just to get validation from other people, you're gonna make some really questionable decisions, because you're gonna start doing things where you are copying other people, or you're, doing something where you don't actually have the experience to teach it. And that's a recipe for long-term disaster. So even if you have a quick hit of success, it's gonna be really hard to sustain and grow. And that brings me to 14, which is fall in love with the journey, not the destination. So success isn't about reaching a final goal. Newsflash, there is no final goal. You'll hit every marker you want to hit, and then you're like, and now what? It's just innate. So it's about loving the process and growing every step of the way and celebrating every single win along the way, every single baby step. Because when you don't celebrate them, you get into a constant cycle of beating yourself up and not recognizing how far you've come. And that is the recipe for people to quit and burn out and to destroy and sabotage their business. 15, above all else, you really have to love helping people. Your business will thrive when your passion for helping people outweighs your desire for profit. And truthfully, the profit will follow. Like, if you genuinely enjoy helping people more than anything else, you will be so committed to making the best product and program on the market, and that will show through the results of your clients. So being committed to service, I would say, is one of the most crucial pieces to actually being able to build something that lasts and that you never get sick of and you constantly are excited about. Number 16, never stop learning. The best entrepreneurs are lifelong learners. You wanna stay curious and always look for ways to grow. And when I say learner, be mindful that you don't need to know everything, but you should be dedicated to mastering whatever it is that you ultimately are teaching. That should be the thing that you dedicate your growth to. And also, this comes in seasons. You can't always be learning. That's exhausting. Sometimes I'll go years without investing into any sort of education because I just need to take a beat, but then I'll come back and go, okay, what can I learn now? So you're not always learning, but you are always dedicated to the process of being the best and being better and serving at the highest level, which means equipping yourself with the right resources. Number 17, this is something that I didn't really accept at the beginning, but you can't grow alone. Building a successful business requires consultation, partners, a strong team, a network of people who get it. So investing in relationships to help you grow is crucial. You want to look to people and speak to people who have been there, who have done that and are also on the journey with you. That sense of community and guidance is crucial. And oftentimes, unfortunately, people go to their husbands and wives and partners and friends those people don't know what they're talking about. They've never done this before. So if they've done it before, sure, you can listen. But if they haven't done it, they're gonna sidetrack you very quickly because people like to project their own stuff onto your journey. Okay, number 18, kind of going back to hiring, hire slow, fire fast. So be patient when building your team, which is real hard to do, I know, but quick to act if someone isn't the right fit. So patience in the process, but quick action if they are clearly not a fit for the team. Your business can't afford the wrong fit. It might be easier to keep them in the short term, but I promise you it will be a disaster if you keep them on too long and if you sort of wait for that crisis to happen. You know, and I think intuition is overlooked, your gut will know if somebody's not the right fit for your business, and look for the signs. So that's why doing a long interview process and doing a clear vetting process and having the right steps in place before you bring somebody on is so important. And even then, people slip through the cracks because they put on their best face through the process and then they get in the door and you're like, oh, I don't know. So do your best to vet them slowly and make that decision slowly, but then if they're not the right fit, remove them. Number 19, resilience, like I said, is your superpower. Every entrepreneur faces setbacks. It's your ability to get back up, keep going, even when it's hard. That will set you apart. It is not, if you're your best self when everything's going great, you do not deserve a high five. Being your best self and maintaining the things that make you feel healthy and happy and stable when things are going bad, that allows you resiliency. So only focusing on your practices that you want to commit to every single day when things are going well is kind of a recipe for you to sabotage yourself when things aren't going well. That brings me to 20, which is belief keeps your business going. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but you have to believe in your vision when no one else does. So that belief is truly what sustains you during the toughest times. And it's also what inspires your team to keep going. You know you have a great thing. You know that you're making a big impact, but constantly sharing that with your team. So every single day we're sharing wins from our clients with our whole team because we want them to have visibility on that because that makes them so excited to work in this community and to serve in this community because it's a constant environment of growth and success and results, which makes you thrilled and excited to do the work that you're doing. So don't underestimate the power of just strictly believing in what you do and also sharing that belief with the people who work closest with you. Truly, that belief is what sustains you through the hard times. And it will keep your mindset healthy through the hard times, which there inevitably will be challenging seasons. 21. Keep the main thing the main thing. So don't get distracted by shiny objects or trends. Stay focused on your core mission and your long-term vision and those two crucial pieces. Who do you serve and what are you offering to them? So important you don't get distracted because here's the funny thing that happens when you start to grow. You start to go, wow, all these opportunities are coming to me that I wasn't getting before when I was trying to build my business. And now I'm going to take all of them. And guess what that does? Kills your business, kills your momentum because you get distracted and you stop focusing on the thing that matters the most, which is your client results and the quality of your actual offer itself. So learning to say no becomes far more important than learning to say yes. It's actually how decisive you can be that really indicates how successful you can be. 22, simplify to multiply. So success doesn't come from doing more. As I just said, it comes from doing less better. You can't optimize 90 different things at once. Simplifying your business is the key to scale because then you can just optimize the pieces that actually matter to make them the best that they can be. 23, your clients will grow your business more than you will. Happy clients are your best salespeople. If you have results, you don't need to market as hard. Prioritize their success and they will help you grow exponentially. They'll refer people, they'll talk about the program. It's how your business can really start to grow on autopilot and organically. 24, you will outgrow systems, and that's okay. What works at the beginning won't work forever. Be ready to upgrade your systems as your business scales and understand that there are certain people and processes in your business that you may outgrow with time. And depending on the season of entrepreneurship that you're in, beginning, middle, or scale, really depends on who you have around you and the processes that you have in place. And the more that you grow, the more that becomes a big focus. So I said earlier that you need to learn to say no. And number 25 is not every opportunity is worth taking. I promise you this, even if it looks amazing, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. You wanna focus only on opportunities that align with your goals and really align with who you wanna serve and what you're offering. If there is any distraction away from those things, then it's ultimately costing you more than it's a gain for you. 26, content is queen, consistency is king. So great content is important, but consistency is what builds trust and authority over time, not in how often you post, but in the consistency of the value you create and always maintaining focus on how you want to serve your audience. That staying number one makes a massive difference. 27, done is better than perfect. So kind of back to the beginning, if you wait until it's perfect, you are gonna miss out on countless opportunities. So as I mentioned, be sure that even in the smallest tasks in your business, if you're sitting there and worrying about it being perfect all the time and worrying about how you're gonna send a message to somebody, a client, a team member, etc., it is delaying action. And when you delay action in any area of your business, not just with your product, you are ultimately delaying feedback. And as I mentioned earlier, feedback is crucial to growth. You need to befriend it and not be afraid of it. So do the thing. Send the message, write the email, do whatever you need to do, just get it done and off your plate. And your biggest competitor is yourself. 28. Don't worry about what others are doing. Your biggest obstacle is often your self-doubt and your hesitation. And truly, when you create a market of one, there is no competition. There can be people who are in similar lanes to you, but if you're focusing on your unique experience and how you do things in a methodology that you've honed over time, I am telling you, people can't do it like you. So you have to keep focused on that lane and stay in that lane. Stay in that lane, and remember, you're running your own race. So as long as you run your own race, you're always going to be able to win. And I know I harp on this a lot, but client feedback is gold. The best way to improve is by listening to your clients. And it's not quick fixes. It's things that you can really implement to make a massive change to how they see results. Their feedback is the key to refining your product and growing your business over time. So you will inevitably have to do updates to whatever you're working on and optimize it as you grow. It's a never-ending journey. That's why there is no end goal. And you gotta love that process. And also, listening to your clients allows you to make the best product on the market. So cozy up to it. It's the best thing you can do. Number 30, the final lesson. And you're probably not gonna love this, but you won't have it all figured out ever. So even at $30 million in revenue generated to date, there will always be, and there are always, new challenges. You gotta kind of learn to love them, accept them, and embrace the learning process, and know that every step back is ultimately a set up for a comeback and for growth. So surrendering to that process is a key part of not losing your mind. And I love to say, like, embrace rock energy of just being steady Eddie throughout anything that happens externally in your business, externally in your life. The more that you can cultivate your own level of inner peace, which I know sounds very woo-woo, but it has been crucial for me, the more that you're gonna be able to maintain your business, maintain your sanity throughout every ebb and flow. And this might seem simple, but the people who don't focus on that are the ones who quit. And again, they're the ones who tend to self-sabotage and destroy their business, when if they just took a step back and found a little bit of calm, they would be able to find a solution. Because I promise you, I haven't met a problem in my business that I haven't been able to solve. And here's the fun part about that. As you grow a business, I think people think it gets more chaotic. It actually gets much more simple as you grow. And oftentimes you're encountering the same problems over and over again. A healthy business and a peaceful business, it just presents the same problem. So you get better and more equipped at dealing with them as you grow. And the more you can maintain that peaceful energy, the faster you get through them, the less rattling they will be for you. So big rock energy, very important. And like I said, most important thing is to build a solid foundation so you can actually grow from a very steady and sturdy place. So if you want to unlock and learn about your ideal client right now, which is so crucial, comment decoder or click the link in the description and we'll send you the link to use our ideal client decoder tool for free for yourself, so you can get clarity on the foundation of your successful online education business in a matter of minutes. And if you want to take this a step further, watch this video next on how to build an online course that generates more than $1 million a year. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.